Hi, my name's Jeff Fastbinder with a line, and today we're looking at the new Trex 800E helicopter with the new Gimbal 800 3X system. This system is completely assembled. It comes in the box as you see it here. It comes in this box. The gimbal comes out of the box much like you see it here. There's some minor assembly of this lower base tray that you see right here. And it comes with the gimbal stabilizer module that's on the back here. And with this system right here, I'm using the S-Bus system, and I also have my battery mounted right here, which is a 7.2 battery. Servos and everything have been pre-installed for you, so there's no need to install any servos or any belts or anything of that nature. It's just some simple assembly of this lower tray for your camera system. Right now, what I did is I put some batteries on here just to show you the amount of weight it can withstand very easily. And some of the controls: roll, tilt, pan, and zoom. The roll tilt, you're panning, tilt with the elevator here. So you can see that, and you zoom with your throttle here. You have 5 flight modes. You have a 3-axis mode, head locking, a 2-axis mode, and then another 3-axis mode for continuously following the helicopter's flight to stabilize. Then you'll have a normal or manual mode, and also a crash position, basically in order to help prevent the camera from sustaining damage. So it has 5 flight modes that you can program. The first thing that you do when you get out of the box, though, again, is do this basic sub-assembly. There is going to be the need on the Trex 800, because that's what these frames are designed for, to remove the front tray. This is your front tray that you had on your Trex 800 in its stock configuration. And then you'll see this arm here, the CNC arm with these shocks. This all comes pre-assembled here for you. You do have to insert the bearings with dampeners inside the frame, and that's a very easy process. Basically hook up this arm, which provides dampening to stabilize it for flight, and this all needs to be used in conjunction with your APS system. The APS needs to be updated to 1.2, which is a free update offered on www.align.com.tw. Make sure you get the 1.2 update, and that will interface with the gimbal stabilizer, again, that's located right on the front here. And what I'm going to do is I just want to give you a quick insight of, basically this is everything that's in the box. As far as electronic devices, you have, again, the gimbal stabilizer is already pre-mounted, all that's mounted. It gives you wires, it gives you the screws for all this hardware that's here. There's some hardware on the bottom here that we're using, so you can see all that's applied. But there's a couple other things on the helicopter that you need to take note of here. And let me go ahead and move this over. I have installed the landing gear, and I'll give you the item numbers for that, which are not included with the gimbal stabilizer, but you'll need it. The landing gear number is H80F001XXT. This is the aerial photography landing gear assembly, so you'll need to get that in addition to the gimbal system when installing the gimbal. Further, you'll need the auxiliary battery mount that you see here on the back. This is to move your CG and get your helicopter CG correctly for flight. It gives you better stabilization and optimizes the performance of the gimbal system. And that number is H80T010XXT. Okay, I've got my APS mounted here in the back. It's all synced up. I could go into APS here, go into APS or GPS modes. And with my other radio, let me pull this aside so you can see it. I don't know if you see the gimbals tilting and moving. And it's moving there with the helicopter. And it's following the direction of the helicopter, the gimbal right now in this flight mode. That's 3-axis, 2-axis mode. I can set it up where I want to put that. And then on 2-axis mode, it's just going to follow your movement in flight like that. So you can see it easily withstands the weight. You know, that's about 3 pounds of weight there. You can use your camera, get a D5 there, or your video camera, whatever you're using, you can easily mount to the gimbal here. Again, I'm showing that for weight purposes to give you a idea of the weight. I'm using 2 radios right now. This is a 2-man operation. I have my 14 and also the T8J, which I'm using to control the gimbal here. So that's it. As far as what comes in the box, you get a gimbal with all the electronics pre-configured. You get this arm here that extends off the frame, and you get all the nuts and bolts you need to get it mounted to your Trex 800 helicopter. As far as other things that you need, again, is the APS system. If you do have APS already, you make sure you update it to 1.2 so that'll interface with the gimbal stabilizer. Aside from that, it's ready to go to the flight field. There are some simple setup procedures. For instance, getting it working 90 degrees. So you have to set the endpoints, just like you would on your helicopter. You set the endpoints so it stops at 90 degrees. And then same thing with the battery, or in this case your camera angle. You can set this up or set the maxes to 90 degrees on both fore and aft axis. And then on the side tilt, on this you want to set up at 30 degrees per the instructions. It's a real simple process, and it's very easy to do. So as far as setting up the gimbal, it's just a matter of having the 800 and the new Gimbal 800 3X system. If you have any more questions about this product, feel free to email me at jeff@AlignRCUSA, or please look at www.align.com.tw. Thanks for watching. My name is Jeff Fassbinder, and this is the new Gimbal 800 3X system. Thank you. Again, this is zoom. This controls your flight modes for the type of stabilization you want. Again, you can go in manual mode or in crash mode, and that would tilt basically your camera down to minimize damage to the lens on the gimbal in crash mode. So that's pre-programmed there for you. Again, I'm using the APS system here. This is with 1.2 with S-Bus on the Trex 800. Here's the bearings right here that you'll need to install that are included with your gimbal system. Right here, the shocks. You get this lower tray here, these mounts for the shock assembly. Get the controller mounted down below on that tray that's already part of your Trekker. See if you can see inside there. There you go. And then you have the gimbal system here. Again, it has some indicators on the front here so you can see when you're centered up, for helping you get your gimbal in 90 degrees. Again, I have the Align landing gear system, aerial photography landing gear set from Align. And I also have this rear battery tray, which you'll need in order to achieve your CG. Also, you notice that the APS, it stands it off to get it away from the batteries as they discharge. And we're using the 3GX with 3.0 software.